lobby of Ramsey Solutions. Patrick and Natalie are with us. Hey, guys, how are ya?
Hey, Dave.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks.
So where do you guys live?
We're from the Iowa City, Iowa area.
Very cool. Welcome to Nashville. And
Thank
here
you.
to do a debt-free scream?
Yes, sir.
I love it. How much have you paid off?
A little over $107,000.
Excellent. And you're, how long did that take?
Just about 5 years.
5 years. And your range of income during that time?
We started off about 85, and we're just about 120 now.
Excellent. What do y'all do for a living?
We're both physical therapists.
Very cool. Very cool. So is this your house, maybe?
House and everything, you bet.
Wow. Very cool. I'm looking at weird people.
Yes, sir.
I love it. I love it. 5 years later. I tell people the average is 7, and so to pay off your home, working our stuff, and people look at me like I got one eye in the center of my head when I tell them the average person pays off their home in 7 years. Well, here's one that did it in 5. See, that brings that 12. That person who did it in 9, it brings the average right back. There you go. So very cool. Well, good for you guys. So tell us a story. What happened 5 years ago that got you going?
Well, we had our youngest just a little bit over 5 years ago, and really decided that it was time to get motivated and get that gazelle intense to get that house paid off. We had followed your plan for years. We'd paid off our student loans, we'd paid off our cars, and we just had this left, and we decided, hey, we need to go for it and get it done.
Before this, the mortgage just seemed too high, like we couldn't tackle it.
It's $100,000. Yeah, it's overwhelming. Yeah.
Right, and once we kind of crossed off the other little stuff, we kind of looked at each other and said, we can do this. Let's do this. Let's go. And so we did.
Game on.
Yeah.
So it was a team decision and a team effort. Neither one of you had to talk the other one into it. You just because you'd already had the experience of winning, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So when people hear you've paid off $107,000, what do you and your house? How old are you two?
I'm 43.
And I just turned 40.
And you have a paid off house.
Yes, sir.
And what's the house worth?
About 250.
You guys are heroes, man. You're awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
When people pay, you're 40 years old, you pay off your house. Nobody does that. When people hear that you did that, and they're looking at you like you must have a superpowers or something, and they say, what did you do? How did you do that? How in the world? And what do you tell them the secret is?
Well, I think communication, of course, and that's something that for sure we struggled with. I have listened to your podcast for years, and mostly while I'm jogging, I download them and then listen to them. And, I always thought, I heard other people talk about how communication was the key factor, and I thought, wow, we just don't have it down. Every month it's like, now what?
We had that budget meeting, and we dread the budget meeting. Right.
Was it always a fight?
It wasn't a fight. It was just we kind of dreaded it, like, oh, here it comes again. But we stuck with it. We both had the same goal in mind. We were both motivated to accomplish the same goal, and that was the key. And
but you didn't not communicate. It just sometimes was difficult.
Right.
It was difficult,
exactly.
for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
The communication was essential, and you had to go there whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah.
And
And I will give a plug for your every dollar budget.
Yes.
She had some crazy spreadsheets that she used, and this really simplified things. So we really have enjoyed that the last.
So she's on the jog listening to podcasts, doing spreadsheets in her head, and then comes home and puts them all out. Yeah,
that's right.
Somebody might be a nerd. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, go nerds. I love it. Yeah, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, I even had a line item for we get a quarter of beef every year, and I'm like, well, where do we put this? Okay, meat. So
I like it.
He's like, I don't understand your spreadsheet, and so the every dollar counts kind of that took us home together.
That helped.
So
that
was
helped the
great.
communication.
Yep.
Yeah, very
Sure.
cool.
Yes.
Well, $8,000 a month now. You can spend however you want.
Right.
About $8,000 take home. What excites you the most about that? What's some of the plans of where you guys are headed?
Well, we've been able to travel a little bit. We took a vacation over the summer and really got to enjoy some time with our kids.
Where'd you go?
We went to Utah, southern Utah,
Yeah.
and visited all the national parks there. And
Very nice.
Yeah.
really just been able to look at our future, looking at making college easier for the kids, and looking at what's the next step. Been able to give and be generous, and that's been real important to both of us as well.
Yes.
Cool. Is there a certain giving thing that happened that you recall that was a big one that was neat?
All along, we've tried to prioritize tithing and giving through
Sure.
our budget as number one, and we've kind of agreed that that needs to come first, and then we do the rest of the budget. But now it just allows us to kind of not give with a little bit of a weight. You know, it's kind of like, okay, we can give this and it's completely free. You know, we don't have to even think twice about it.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to give, but now we can do it, and it's just a freer feeling, and it's such a blessing to be able to give, whether you're under a budget, a stricter budget or a less stricter budget, you're still under a budget, and you know, just to be able to give and receive those blessings in response is a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, very cool. Well, way to go, you two. Very, very proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool. Now, your kids are how old, and are they with you?
They
Yep, they're right
are.
here.
We
Okay.
have Caitlin, who's 13, and Peyton is 11, and Lucas is 6.
All right, very cool. Now, Iowa City's a long way to practice a debt-free scream.
We practiced in the car. Yeah, it's about 10 hours.
Oh
give or
my
take.
gosh!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So they ought to be by now. They ought to be like professionals.
I think we're not really loud in the car, so we'll see if it ups a little bit.
If they're gonna, you know, well, they gave them some cookies out there. That sugar
We got
high
some
ought to
sugar
help.
in 'em
yeah,
for sure.
That ought to jack it up a little. All right, get
part of
some
the plan.
fuel, some debt-free scream fuel going. Very cool. Well, I'm sure they're old enough, and you guys have talked this through to where they understand that their family tree's changed. I mean, they can look back and go, that time that we visited that weird guy's office, and Mama was only 40 years old, and they paid off their house, and it changed our lives. And they can tell their kids that. Your grandkids will hear this story.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty cool.
I have to tell a quick story. They, when the older two bought their first iPods, we tried to encourage them to earn money, and so they earned the money to the cent. And just the look on the Best Buy guy's face as they took their money and handed over $1 at a time to buy their iPod, and you know, we kind of explained that through to them.
Yeah.
You know, we want you to feel you got to earn the money, and you got to hand it over to the guy, and that's what it feels like, getting rid of that much money. And so. It was a fun experience for them, I think.
Yeah, that's a big lesson. Very cool. All right, we've got a copy of Chris Hogan's Retire Inspired book. That's the next
Great.
chapter in this hero story for you guys.
Thank you.
You'll move on now to becoming very wealthy. And these kids will remember this day because of that. And as you do, your generosity will continue to be outrageous. And that's the key right there, you guys. So very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, it's Patrick and Natalie, Caitlin,
right.
Peyton, and Lucas.
Here we go, guys.
Iowa City, $107,000 paid off in 5 years. House and everything. $85,000 to $120 income. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
Wow. Awesomeness right there, man. Awesome. Wow. Well, if you don't know why that's exciting, a $250,000 house might have something like a $1,900 house payment for regular people that aren't debt-free. And if you were to put that house payment at 40 years old into an account until you're 70 years old, just the house payment alone in a decent growth stock mutual fund, just the house payment is about $7 million. I'm not talking about the rest of their stuff. If they just pay themselves a house payment until they're 70, that's $7 million, which means that we're looking at a family's probably going to have $20 million. Does that blow your mind?
That is powerful.
If it doesn't blow your mind, you don't have a mind. Oh my gosh, that's stinking cool right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's talking about changing your family tree.
Yeah, the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And you see those 3 little kids out there, and they're going to be able to provide for their children because of this diligence. They looked down at the paper and they said, we can do this, and they backed it into a plan and worked the stinking plan.
There you go, man. Man, that's very cool. I love it. Excellent job, you guys. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.